You're a beacon of light, not just in the Middle East. You're a beacon of light globally because of everything that you stand so proudly on behalf of. And whether that's human rights or women's rights or justice, or whether that's about freedom or religious tolerance, you bring something to the world that we can be incredibly proud of and learn so much from. And I want to wish you an incredibly happy new year, and I hope that that's an incredibly peaceful new year as well. Can I also welcome, on behalf of the union, the Deputy Leader of the HPD who's with us tonight. I'm well aware, we're all well aware of the repression that the Kurdish people are facing in all areas at the moment, and we stand alone. We stand with you. You're not standing alone. We stand with you in that struggle. Look, my union's an internationalist union. We've always been an internationalist union. We support people in Colombia. We support colleagues in Venezuela. We've supported the Palestinians and the right for self-determination of the Palestinian people. We stand in solidarity with the Cuban people wanting to self-determine their own identity and their own futures, just as we stand with the Kurdish people, fighting for freedom and justice and human rights and the ability to determine your own futures, free of outside interference on behalf of your own people. The time has come now for a fundamental change, and we're appalled. I don't think there's anybody in this room that could not be appalled by the actions of Turkey. The actions of Turkey, not just in Turkey, but across that whole region. And I'm not a politician. I'm a socialist and I'm a trade unionist. And I can say murder as it is, because the reality is that there are Kurdish people that are being murdered by a vicious, brutal Turkish regime right now. And it's up to us, it's up to trade unionists, it's up to socialists, it's up to politicians across the globe to stand proudly with the people of Kurdistan, to stand proudly with the women of Kurdistan. Women! Women that have been at the forefront. How disgraceful was it? How disgraceful to see Turkey banning, prohibiting, physically obstructing assistance given to the Kurds in the fight for Kobani. How obscene was that? And how proud are we to stand with the Kurds in winning the battle for Kobani? And how proud are we to say that that battle was not lost, that battle was won. But colleagues, it's complicated. It's complicated. We understand all of that. But the level of violence against the civil population in all of those areas represented by Kurds here tonight is obscene. It's inhumane. It's brutalising. It is nothing short of murder. It is our duty and our responsibility to stand up with those that fight for peace and justice and self-determination, wherever that may be. And I was talking to colleagues that just 2 weeks ago were in the region, colleagues of mine, trade unionists, Unite officers, that went as part of a delegation to Kurdistan and met with trade unionists, and met with women's organisations, and met with government non-governmental organisations to hear firsthand about the struggle that people were facing, the persecution that people were facing, the inhumanity of a regime that shoots kids on the streets and then shoots people that go to retrieve kids from the streets. How inhumane is that? And yet that's what's being experienced day in, day out in areas of Kurdish control under a Turkish repression. And that's something we have to stand up against. But the return to a military solution is no solution, of course. We've taken bold steps here, and we can learn lessons from this. There aren't exact parallels, of course. But the position that we faced in Ireland, where people decided to down arms, to find a peaceful solution, a political solution, because ultimately it will be a political solution to these conflicts. They found, albeit a fragile peace, but they worked hard to find a peace. In Colombia, they're trying to find a fragile peace, but they're trying to find a peaceful solution to decades of conflict. And it's our duty to double our efforts to support all of those that stand in the name of peace, that stand in the name of human rights, social justice, fairness and civil rights, women's rights, trade union rights, the freedom of association, the freedom of ability of peoples to determine their own futures without the interference of others. And the British government have a role to play. And we had a Tory MP stand up here just now, and I wish you'd argue the same inside the Tory party, for the government to stand up against Turkey. The government to stand up. And let's do it. Let's do it. Let's force the government to stand up for the Kurds today. Let's not allow the Turks to blackmail Europe on the back of an obscenity which is a refugee crisis out of Syria. That's obscene. And the government needs to stand proudly alongside the Kurdish community as it has done in the past. We'll support you, colleagues. We'll support you. My union will support you. Trade unionists here will support you. We're socialists. Solidarity forever. Good luck and a very happy New Year.